Hi everyone, this is Darren from Primal Gym, bringing you another 4-part series to take you through into February, I guess. This 4-part series is going to be on something that's probably topical to a lot of people around just after Christmas period, which is bloating, okay? Something that a lot of people suffer with. We're going to have a look in this 4-part series to see what are the causes of bloating, which I can give you the lowdown right now. Mostly, it's kind of unfermented foods, undigested foods in the gut that are making things gassy. Basically, you leave, a bit like a compost heap going on in your stomach. So that's the short answer. We're going to have a look a bit more in detail what causes it. Part 2, we'll have a look at other causes. Part 3, we'll have a look at how you can actually start fixing that. And what I want to do is get some Q&A from you guys. So if you're watching this on Facebook or if you're watching it on YouTube, stick down some questions that you might have, and on part 4 we'll have a look at see if we can answer some of those questions for you. So very quickly to go through what actually is bloating. As I said, mostly undigested foods that start causing gas. The problem is if this goes on long term, inflammation can start to build up in the stomach, and that's when you start to get quite sore bloating. Now with inflammation often comes bacteria. Once you start getting bacteria in the gut, or an excess of bad bacteria in the gut through that inflammation process, that's when you can start to have problems. You can start to end up with what's called dysbiosis, where you've got too much bad bacteria relative to good bacteria, and the whole thing can start to become a problem. You can start to get fungus infections, candida infections, and things like that. So apart from just feeling uncomfortable around your waistline, it also can lead to some quite serious problems. Now the main causes are things like grains, if you have issues with grains, gluten, wheat germ agglutinin, any of those types of polypeptides that go in grain products, especially the processed grain products. Sugar is another one, dairy. A lot of people have problems with corn, soy, some meat proteins like beef can be a problem. Also alcohol. Alcohol will actually eventually can also cause leaky gut, which is another cause of bloating, which is basically where the gut starts to, food starts to get through the lining of the gut, and the body then looks at it in the bloodstream as an invader and starts attacking it as if it was an infection. Again, this can be quite serious. Another one is eggs as well. It's quite a common thing with eggs is if you find that you start to get bloated and you're eating a lot of eggs, cut them out of your diet for a few weeks, put them back in, then you should find that you're okay again. It can be a bit hit and miss with eggs. So there's some of the basic food groups that cause problems, but I want you to remember this is about you finding out what works for you. Apart from processed foods, there's not really any such thing as a terrible food. It's just that it's the wrong food for you. So, take dairy for example. There are genetic reasons why you might not be able to process dairy. Some people have issues with the protein, casein. Some people have an issue with whey. Some people have issues with the milk sugars themselves. So there's a lot of reasons why you might have an issue with a food that aren't just because the food is a bad food. Hope that makes sense. So, first of all, look to food groups that you might be eating that don't work, and then also start paying attention to what foods you're eating that are actually causing the bloating. That's it for now. In part 2, what we're going to do is go through some of the other causes, and part 3 we'll have a look and see how we can fix them. Remember, put your questions down and we'll do a Q&A in part 4. Check us out on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll see you next week.